Howdy, folks. Welcome to CIS 2454, Web Systems Development in PHP and Java for the winter 2023 semester. Wow, that seems like such a mouthful. So thanks for coming along. Glad to have you here. And this is an online asynchronous class. So there's no planned class meetings here. We do have one synchronous meeting at the end when you and your partner possibly present your final project with me over Zoom, but that's the only time we need to have a synchronous meeting, if that's what you like. I'm a big people person. I like talking to folks, so I'm happy to chat lots of times. I'll take you through all the information here and show you how you can get all that scheduled here. So hopefully you found D2L. Shouldn't be new for you here. So we're going to start in the course information section here in content. This is where we've got our syllabus and some other links here we're going to go through. So I do apologize. I know you know folks know how to read, but I want to hit some of the highlights here. This is my cell phone number. These are my office hours. If you want to meet in person, I'm on campus Tuesdays before my class. Monday, Wednesday nights. The campus actually closes at 10:30, so I'm not going to be there for these. But most often, last semester, people wanted to meet in the evening time, so I've got mostly evening hours available for scheduling. And then if none of these days and times work, I can meet other times by appointment. Just let me know. And then to book them, go to this Calendly link here, and you can go and find a 15-minute time slot and say, hey, I want to meet with Eric at 4:30 here. Put in your email address. Let me know if you want to meet on Discord or on Zoom, or for at least the Tuesdays we can meet in person. And I'll get that time reserved on the calendar. It works out pretty well. So it's the Orchard Ridge campus. If you're near there in Oakland County, you can join my Discord server here. I prefer Discord because it just is a nice tool. Zoom is also fine as well if you like Zoom. So you can find that information there. Our classroom is on D2L because we're online asynchronous. This was a copy paste of the course catalog. Hopefully nothing interesting there. The prereq here is a programming class, either Intro to Programming in Java or Java 2 or Object-Oriented Programming in Java. It's our second Java course. So that's the only programming prereq. So PHP will be all new, and then when we get to the Java side of things, we'll be a little familiar with some of that Java syntax. In terms of some outcomes, so we have these general education outcomes, which are interesting, that we assess among all of our courses. Critical thinking is big when it comes to programming. You need to learn how to take your tools and techniques and solve problems with them. Right? Apply the knowledge to your assigned task to solve the problem. That's the big thing here. And then the common course outcomes, most of this won't make a lot of sense till we actually talk about them here, but these are things that we cover throughout the class. So we'll get to them. I'll come back and talk about these at other points here to kind of like, hey, this is what that sentence was here, but nothing too crazy when we get there. For textbooks, we use two books here from Murrock. Murrock's a pretty nice small publisher. They don't usually charge too much, not a whole arm and a leg here. They're still kind of expensive, but they're not outrageous, at least. They're no Pearson. So we use one book for PHP and MySQL, and then the second book for the Java JSP stuff. They haven't come out with a new edition of this yet, which is a little bit unfortunate. The PHP version is a newer edition here. If you do want to use the third edition, you should be fine. The chapter numbers, I think, got just a little bit mixed up in there, but let me know if you got any questions here. I'm always happy to help you find a cheaper option. You can order from the OCC bookstore, your favorite online bookstore, whatever you need. You got the ISBNs here. And then we use a whole bunch of tools here, all sorts of other additional information here, supplemental tools. So GitHub is the source, the cloud service provider of the Git source control tool, or one of the cloud service providers of the Git source control tool. I like them. They give away their stuff for free for educational use, which is awesome. Again, I like Discord. You don't have to use it. We can do it all here in D2L if you want. No worries here. And then Twitch, actually, sorry, I don't have Twitch streams for this class. That was a bad copy paste. That's my mistake. You'll need a free account on GitHub. Don't pay for anything here. We'll make use of the GitHub desktop client. We'll be going through that later on in another video here. Discord again for my Discord server. When we get to the Java side of things, I prefer the Open JDK. Really, you can use anyone. It doesn't really matter much at all here. I was a little bit irritated at Oracle licensing Java, going kind of against years and years and years and years of Java history, but that's my problem, not yours. I'll show you how to install it. It's not too big of a deal. And then we do use the NetBeans IDE for this class because it does PHP and Java. There are some better ones for PHP, but you have to license them, and we can get free licenses, but then it's a big pain whether or not you're using a college computer or your computer, because then you have to get your own license. And so NetBeans is not my favorite tool, but it definitely works. So I'm fond of tools that work, so we'll use that. And then XAMPP is the software package we're going to use to install all of the other tools. It kind of bundles up. It gives us Apache, it gives us PHP, it gives us MySQL, and I'm blanking on the other one at the moment here, but when we install the tools, I'll show you all of those. If you don't want to install them on your own computer, you can also use the virtual desktop. Now, you can connect into the virtual desktop remotely. We've got a Mac client and a Windows client. There's a web browser version that they don't recommend, but we still have it for reasons. I'm not really sure why. Just know with the virtual desktop, your files do not stay. So, but because we're going to use GitHub, all of our code will go in GitHub. It's not really that big of a deal here. And if you do want to come to campus to use the computers, they actually also connect to the virtual desktop just from campus. It's kind of cool. For course policies, I am big on this plagiarism and cheating policy. I think cheaters should not get college degrees. And hopefully you'll feel the same way, because if someone cheats their way through school and then gets a job and they suck at their job because they don't know what they're doing because they cheated their way through school, they didn't learn anything, that employer is not going to want to hire our graduates anymore. They're going to think we did a terrible job teaching people and won't hire other graduates from the program. So I make it a personal mission of mine to fail as many cheaters as possible. It sounds a little awful, but I promise it's not. It's you put the work in, you'll get the stuff done. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not going to tell you to go away if you have questions. So I'm more than happy when everyone is successful. But in 12 years of teaching now, no, 11, I can't count. I've yet had a single semester where I haven't had to fail someone. And I don't know why. It upsets me. It gets me all worked up, and then I get upset, and I complain to my wife, and then my wife gets upset that I'm upset, and it's just obnoxious. So let's just not cheat, okay? What we often see in programming is people plagiarize. They turn in someone else's work with their name on it, right? I know that there are websites like stackoverflow.com. That's programmers all around the world use Stack Overflow all the time, but we need to cite our sources here, right? So if you're not sure, ask me. Don't turn it in and then tell me, oh, I wasn't sure after the fact. That's not going to fly. So if you cheat, you will fail the class immediately. There's no, I get a 0 on the assignment. There's no try again. It's if you cheat in the class, you will fail. And that's it. So you also get reported to the dean's office. The dean's offices keep a naughty list of people, and you get 3 strikes till you're no longer welcome being a student here. We do take this very seriously. Cheaters should not get degrees. You're going to put in the effort and get the work done and hopefully learn something. I mean, if it's a big, giant waste of your time, I'm really sorry, but hopefully we're learning something here in the class, and it's interesting. So that being said, you may not use Chegg.com for anything. You may not cite sources there. You cannot post things there. You cannot do anything with Chegg. They are awful, terrible people. I hope they go out of business, because their entire business model is letting people pay to cheat. And they just piss me off. I'm very upset with Chegg. They're annoying to work with. They have a policy saying that if I tell them what my test is, they can keep my questions from being posted for 24 hours. After that, screw you. And if they can keep my questions from being posted for 24 hours, they can keep them being posted forever. They just choose not to, because that's their business model, and I hate it. So Chegg.com or similar sites like Course Hero, and they can't even keep up with them anymore, are completely banned at all. Stack Overflow is the legitimate website that legitimate developers use. I'm okay with that. Well, no worries there. Again, if you're not sure, just ask me. I know I'm coming off like a big jerk. Apologize. I'm generally a friendly person here, so it works out pretty well. So don't engage in academic dishonesty. Don't plagiarize. Don't turn in someone else's work with your name on it. Okay. The code of conduct, this is a copy paste. It's kind of silly here. The grading policy. This is what most people seem to care about here, is how you get your score. Now, this is a weighted system. So in the labs category of all the labs that we do, your overall score there will make up 10% of your final score in the class. So just because a lab is worth 10 points and a project is worth 10 points does not mean they contribute the same to your final score, because it's a weight. So all the points in that category determine that category's score, and then they're applied here. So we only have one exam, just the midterm. It's low stakes. I'll give you a practice exam. It's not too terrible, I promise. I think exams are terrible, especially when it comes to programming stuff, because no one can memorize everything. It'll be open book, open notes, open internet, but not open neighbor. Like, go use your resources, know how to look stuff up. That's what we get good at as programmers, is finding information. We'll have quizzes pretty much every week on the chapters that we cover. This is your incentive to go read the book. They are open book, open notes. They're not timed. So open the quiz, read the questions, and then go read the chapter. Find the answers that you need, while reading the rest of the chapter too, and then answer the quizzes, get your points. Life is good here. But most of the scores actually come from your work. So 10% from the labs of doing the exercises. These are your practice chances here. We're just trying it out. There technically is a wrong answer, but as long as you're trying, you're going to be okay. Right? If you just put in 3 words here and just give up, there's no points here. But if you're giving it a good effort here, we'll get these done. I'm happy to help you on labs if you get stuck on anything. And you'll work with partners a lot on these as well. With this, hopefully you'll meet someone in the class on the discussion board or in Discord, and you can work on the labs together, which is great. because this is just our chance to practice. But then the bulk of our score comes from the projects. We're going to have 4 projects throughout the class here where we're going to start using some of the things we're learning. So the labs are practice. So you'll see me do it once. You'll read in the book, see how the book does it. I try and give different examples in the book so you can see it 2 different ways. And then you'll have a lab to practice it, and then you'll have a project to apply it. So we're kind of putting all of it together here as we go. And then the actual largest part of your score comes from the final project. This is the last month of class. We'll be working on our final project. It makes up 40% of your overall score. And this standard letter grade percentage to letter here means if you don't finish the final project, if you don't turn it in, you can't pass. Right? This is the summation, the culmination of everything we've done in the class, putting it all together here with some sort of an interesting project to talk about here. And I like the final project. I keep reusing it because it entertains me. And I have gotten some feedback from people, like when they went out and did interviews, it was something they could talk about. And the people that they interviewed with were like, I don't know if impressed is the right word here, but they liked the fact that they could talk about all the things that went into this project. And it's relatively well known for people, so it works out well. I'm sorry, there's a spider here in my basement. Let's put that guy over here. I like spiders because they eat the bugs. I just don't want them on me. All right. So the letter scale here, I know it has percentage points here, but generally I just tell D2L to ignore the percentage points and it rounds for me. So yeah, if you're like 83.5 or higher, it'll round to, or 93.5 or higher, it'll round because D2L will just hide the percentage points for me. Or decimal points will hide it for me. So no worries there. For the N grade, if you don't turn anything in 3 weeks or so, you'll get an N mark. This is bad for financial aid stuff. I'll be in contact with you if it's going to happen. But we got the syllabus quiz already this first week. So if you can get that in, you're good. You won't get an N. We'll be okay. And I'll be in touch with you folks. Late work is not accepted. So generally what happens is when something is due, I've got a solution ready to post, with the next week's module. So I like going over how I solve projects. That's one of the things that I like to do here. So I'll show you how I would solve the project when we're done with it. So I can't take it late because there'll be a solution posted. In terms of FERPA, use D2L. I'm not going to talk to anybody about any sort of records here. Don't have your mom call me. The Americans with Disabilities Act, if you need any sort of accommodations, please contact the Access Office. They'll get in touch with me. Then everything's open book, open notes, and untimed. Most of the accommodations I typically get are additional time or distraction-free environments here. Happy to work with you. We'll see if there's anything I can do for you, but all the quizzes are untimed, the midterms untimed, so you just have the entire week to work on it here. So that is up to your schedule here. The Academic Support Center is fantastic. This is one of my favorite things about Oakland Community College. They are an entire department dedicated to student success and academic support here, and we have, free is the wrong word here, but no additional charge tutoring here, where you can go and without having to pay more, because your tuition and tax dollars technically pay for this here, you can get additional tutoring in this class. So we don't have as many tutors for 2454, but Ms. Rika is fantastic. She tutors for 2454, and Mr. Tim tutors for 2454. So we're hoping to get some other folks into the fold here, get them on board, but you've got a couple options there at least. So Ms. Rika, Tuesdays and Thursdays, afternoon hours, Mr. Tim on Tuesdays as well. So nothing in the evenings, unfortunately. Apologize for that, but hopefully we can work something into your schedule here. So we've got that possible there. For D2L, technical issues go to them, like the website doesn't load. Anything content is me. We almost never have D2L issues. And now, of course, I probably jinxed it, but it's pretty stable. For tech skills, accessibility, the technology appropriate use, we all agree to this. Don't do dumb things with college resources. Be polite. Just be a kind person here. I don't tolerate any sort of hate or nonsense. Public safety, we're fully online, so I don't know if much of this applies, but check out their website. Pretty cool. And then for me, the goal here is to have stuff graded within a week of the due date, not the date you turn it in, but the due date here. I like to wait till everything's in and then try and grade them in bulk. It's not been my strong suit. I'll admit you probably Googled me and found I've got some bad reviews for being slow at that. I apologize. This semester will be different. That's the goal. I've got a plan in place to keep up with it, and we'll see how it goes. So if I do get behind, I'll let you know. But generally, we'll turn them around pretty quick here. And then all the projects come with rubrics that say, hey, if it accomplishes this, you get the points. If it accomplishes this, you get the points. And I'll ask you to assess yourself for the projects and say, okay, I did it all, or maybe I got 75% of it done here. I get some partial points. So hopefully you have a feeling for how you're doing on the projects. But aside from that, I'm working on getting them turned around pretty well for you. In terms of email response or Discord or texting or calling or I feel like there was another one here. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head right now. If I'm not back with you within 24 hours or less, please contact me again. I probably just missed it here. Sometimes my little guy watches YouTube videos on my phone, so it probably showed up as a notification and then he swiped it and I just forgot about it or missed it. I'm sorry. So please reach out again if you don't hear back from me within 24 hours. I'm a pretty good millennial. I'm addicted to my phone. It's with me all the time unless my little guy has it watching YouTube Kids. It's okay. You could judge me for that. That's what it is. Excuse me. And then our tentative schedule here. So we're going to start Thursdays at midnight, 12 a.m., and then we're going to end Wednesdays at 11:59 p.m. for each week. So each week module will open up Thursday morning, 12 a.m. or so, and then all the stuff we do typically Wednesdays 11:59 p.m. So this week here's our course introduction and tools overview, going over the PHP appendix, getting everything installed, up and running, meeting a partner, getting our first essentially like a Hello World website, but it's Hello Partner website up and running just to make sure things work. So we want to make sure everything installed if you're using your computer or you've got connected to the virtual desktop and we got things working there. Then we can actually jump into the chapters. So the first half of class is all PHP, and then we switch gears and switch over to the JSP Java side of things, looking at how we do things in Java. So our first 3 projects are all PHP-based projects. We'll break for midwinter. We'll come back, have the midterm. That's the only thing we do that week. And then we come back and start into Java land. So we go a little faster here because a lot of the topics are similar. We're just looking at how it's done with Java. And then we'll pick up our final project at the end of March here, and you'll be presenting them somewhere around the 27th. I get a little bit of extra time, like the 27th or 28th, generally that like Thursday or Friday. Hopefully we'll be able to schedule those presentations. So, and if we need to go over the weekend, it's possible here because grades are due 24 hours after the class ends, which is technically Thursday, but Thursday 11:59 p.m. plus 24 hours is Friday 11:59 p.m. and no one at the college is looking to see if I've turned in grades at Friday 11:59 p.m. So if we absolutely need to, we can push it out to Saturday, Sunday for those of you who have interesting schedules. So we'll present April 27th, 28th, possibly the 29th or 30th. We'll get everything done and finalized for you. You'll have your grade by Monday, May 1st, and we'll call that a semester. So if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Happy to talk about anything that you have here. We've got a couple options for that now. So the links here, you can go check out my website here. This has all my quick little bio about me, all the other courses I teach. That's just my fun little site here. The course repository. This is the GitHub repository. We'll talk more about this throughout the semester of where all of the code examples are going to go. And I have a copy of the syllabus essentially out here for you too, in case you want to go find it and not have to go download the Word document. So all the code we do in class, I show in my videos, I'll be posting here. You can go look at because D2L is not good at code. You don't have to download files and unzip them and deal with them. Like GitHub is a tool meant for code collaboration. So we're going to use it, and I'll post all the code here. So that's the course repository for finding examples. I have another link for Calendly in case you didn't want to go into the syllabus to find it. Another link to the Discord server, just in case you didn't notice. I like Discord. I want people to use it here. And not just for class questions here. The idea here is we sort of build a community of software engineering folks who can share funny memes, share pictures of their pets, share interesting tech stuff, and then eventually we can build out that career section where you can share things like, hey, this was a great company to go intern for, or hey, there's an opening for an entry-level position over here, or hey, I've been working in the field for a while now, and this sort of stuff. So I'm working on trying to build that up as a community. I've got a link for my Zoom room in case you didn't want to find it in the syllabus again, if you ever want to meet on Zoom, and then a good old-fashioned discussion forum for questions and answers. If you like posting stuff in the forums, you're welcome to post stuff here as well. I'd encourage Discord or just ask me directly, but I think Discord's great because everyone will see the question and everyone will see the answer, and life is pretty good. But it works out as well if you use the Q&A forum. So, all right, that's about it for the course. I'm looking forward to it. You'll see week 1 is actually posted now because I'm about 15 minutes behind on getting this video out here. So you can take a look at week 1 and we'll get going. I'm looking forward to it, folks. You take care.